Hey folks, Green Stuff Gav here. We're back with another unboxing. This one looks like a Hatchet Partworks. So for anyone who's not seen, Hatchet Partworks are a company that does magazines, like your monthly magazine where you can build models or learn knitting, that sort of thing. And they've partnered with Games Workshop to do a weekly magazine where you get all the combat patrols for Warhammer 40,000. So from the previous videos, basically we get about half a dozen issues which build one of the combat patrols. The magazine itself has loads of like learn how to play and all the rules and that, as well as learn how to paint and assemble the minis. So it's good for starter hobbyists and also quite good for those looking for a bargain. Now we subscribe, so we get 4 at a time. I don't know where these are, what issue they're at the shops, but it's worth asking in your local supermarket if they stock it. They've had a real problem with scalpers, so they often aren't on the shelves. Now we've got 70, 72, 73 and 74. We finished the Gene Steel Cult last time, so we're now on to the Imperial Guard. Or Astra Milliwatt-6. So this issue is the Cadian Command Squad. So it's worth noting we pay £9 an issue, and I'm sure that's more than a £9 box set. And because we got the bases, we know that's a full command squad. So 5 32mm bases. And it's a single frame. Now, interestingly, quite a few of the kits are the multi-part kits. So you can see we've got all the weapons options. Like we got this lovely melter gun on a strap. We got a choice bolt pistol, las pistol. We've got left-handed and right-handed pistols. Loads of opportunity for conversions there. Got some variant heads. There's your medic pack. All the special weapons and multiples. So we got at least 2 melter guns, which is nice. I know current edition 40k, you don't get as many options as to what you arm your guys with, but yeah, it's quite a few things. I like you got the plain helmet and the little mask, the respirator. That's cool. Shoulder pads with different ranks on them. Really lovely. I like the hat. It's a really nice mini. And again, we got some different options. So it looks a bit more feminine, that one. So the medic comes with a little face mask. Yeah. Again, lovely detail. I like this kind of sprue where you get the different options. I suspect they can all only build one way, but that's Games Workshop's way these days. So, issue 71, Cadian Command Squad. How to build your Cadian Command Squad. So, combat patrol, you have to build them a specific way. So you should always end up with a power fist, bolt pistol, power sword, medic with a las gun, banner bearer, and a comm guy with this stupid backpack that everyone took the piss out of. But you can buy the combat patrols and then build them how you like. How to paint using the paints we've got. So this is sort of like the steps. So these are base colors. Then we go on and add shading, then some highlighting afterwards. One of the things that I really like is these are really like achievable paint jobs. Like they look really nice, but that's the kind of paint job that me and thee can do. They're not like studio standard, but they look good on the table. Background for the guard. This is something they do I quite like, is these are like background for your characters. So you can roll d6 for the background and d6 for his rank, because it doesn't make a difference in game. The Sentinel's got one, so we're going to get a Sentinel. The Command Squad's got one. Now, because this is a Command Squad, you need to put the names in, and then you get to build them, paint them, play them. So they've done that for every unit they've put out. I really like it. And most importantly, the Combat Patrol rules. Now, I don't know how these compare to the 10th edition, but generally it's not far off. And I know 11th is around the corner. So we've got a Medipack, Standard, and an Officer. Now, with all the room they give on these, I've said it before and I've said it again, I'd love for them to tell us what the unit's actually armed with. But we'll find in one of the later issues, it'll give you a list of what's in the Combat Patrol. And a scenario using your newly made Command Squad. So we can already see the next 3 issues. So we're going to get some paints. These aren't very good value, but then we're going to get 2 guardsmen. 2 issues for a guardsman squad. So let's get the paints out of the way. Issue 72. Everyone and all the resellers got these because they're not very interesting and very bad value for money. Again, these are like £4 a paint, and you're paying a tenner. So if they thrown a third one in, or a paintbrush, which I've said would have been nice. But White Scar, which is a bit thin for my liking. It's ironic to say, but for Games Workshop, White Scar is quite a thin paint. And Uriel Yellow, I really like this one. You can mix it in with Scrag Brown, and that goes straight over a black undercoat, and then just mix it in yourself. Or you can mix it with the base yellow they do. That's quite cool. I like them. Let's see. So funny enough, now that we've got these 2 new paints, it's got how to use them best. So we're using Uriel Yellow as a highlight. And you see we're mixing White Scar as a highlight. So we've got the Space Marines. We've got bits to use them on the Tyranids. Chaos Marines. Well, there's going to be a lot of this. Genestealer Cults. Nothing for the Orcs. Story time. More story time. More info about the Guard. More info about the Guard. Nice little galaxy map with where different Guard armies are. And a campaign. Tyranids versus Astra Militarum, Imperial Guard. But you can't actually play this yet because you've only got 1 squad so far. And again, next 2 issues is a squad of Guard. Talking of which, issue 73. Sounds like there's some bases in this one. So part 1 of 2. 5. We got 9 bases for some reason. These are these new 27.5 bases. I'm not a massive fan of that. It's another base that doesn't need to exist. Nothing. Oh, 1 rolled away. We have got 10. So we've got 10 bases and a squad of guardsmen. Now they've got more detail is I like the old way the guards work, where you had legs, torso, arms. I don't know how mix and match these will be. But we haven't got a lot of actual torsos on this sprue. Loads of legs. We've got a few torsos. There's 1, 2. Those are fronts. Oh, there's a back there, so 3. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. So potentially 7 dudes. But again, it's got all of the weapons options. We won't see these in combat patrol, but you would generally have enough to give them all las guns, or, you know, you've got grenade launcher, flamer, plasma gun, melter gun. So you got all the special weapons. Auto gun there, that's really cool. Don't know if they got different stats these days, but got your sergeant stripes. A variety of different heads, which is nice. Masked ones. Got some feminine ones. It's got some girls' heads. Comlink. Respirator. Yeah. And we've got even more heads there, which is nice. So plenty of options. Sergeants can have these cool caps. Plenty of options. I just, like I say, hope that all the weapons fit all the torsos. They might do. So it looks like they've got flat edges, so you can mix the arms in, but the torsos and legs might be specific. I haven't actually assembled any of these, so it would be nice if they are mix and match, but I'm always prepared to be disappointed. So part 1 of 2, how to build. So again, we got different heads, which is nice. Gives you, so again, this is going to specifically show us options, but by the looks of it, I'm wondering if the torsos will fit any legs. But no, I think they don't. I think the torso and legs are one piece. Can't mix them up. You can mix the heads, mix the arms by the looks of it. Extra details, bedrolls. That's cool. Lots of pages for assembling guardsmen because there's loads of different. So effectively, I think we're going to end up with 2 squads. So we're going to end up with 20 guard, which would be nice. You see, they've got all the different options. But we've got an auto gun and plasma gun, grenade launcher, flamer, melter gun. So we've got all 4 weapons, but you do get the 4 different weapons. So you could mix and match them together and have 2 plasma guns in one squad, as example, because you'll have the spare bits. Background. Fall of Cadia. Background. How to use the name tables. A bit late to show us that, but again, they don't have to give us these. I really like it. You know, you've got all these different names. So Decker, say reference. Yeah. So a few different names, and then like a colloquial name for the guardsman, the guard squad. Fateful Talons, for example. That's cool. Again, they didn't need to spend time writing this, but someone did, and I appreciate it. Again, more background, so you can roll for each squad, and they can have their own story. Helps customize your dudes, which is something I've always been a fan of. One stat sheet, but again, it gives us all the weapons. So, auto gun, flamer, grenade launcher. So presumably flamer, melter gun in one squad. The grenade launcher, plasma gun in the other squad. Again, if you're following the combat patrol rules. But now that we've built them, we've got a scenario. We've got some Eldar versus Guard. Then we can see next issue we've got then 2 issues for the 2 artillery pieces. It's interesting. But talking of the rest of the Guard, that's proved me wrong. So part 2 of 2. That's the same sprue. So is that a 10-man squad per sprue then? It must be. They're identical sprues, so I must have missed some of the torsos then. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that is a full 10-man squad on a sprue. That's nice. And faces. Yep, fair play, fair play. So these, I don't know why it says 2 of 2, but yeah, must be something I'm missing. But yeah, so we got to have 10 dudes a sprue. How to paint them? Again, nice solid paint scheme. It's not a standard scheme, although by the time you put the inks over, they are fairly standard. Cadian stones. So I like this. Again, that's a solid paint job. That's a very solid paint job. Is like, I'd be happy to field that. That's a good quality, and like I say, it's certainly achievable. Story time. Story time. Different background roll, so that's nice. So that's 6 different bits of background they've written for cheap rank and file. And yeah, so it's the same, it's given us the same data sheet but with different lights, so we know this has got a flamer and melter gun. I like, again, they didn't have to do that, but I'm glad they did. Play a game against Chaos Marines and a new scenario. So yeah, the guard player takes 2 units of 10 and a command squad against 2 units of hybrids and a magus. So guards characters can issue orders to units, and this is all about how to do that, what the different orders do. So again, that's a 40k thing, so it's nice that's in combat patrol as well. We can see the next 2 issues, 75 and 76, is 2 weapons platforms. Now, I'm hoping that like one issue will give you one weapon, one issue will give another, but we don't know. It all depends how they've cut the sprues. But yeah, so I think good value. Now that we've seen that it's a 10-man unit per issue, well, that's like a 35 quid box, I'm sure of it. So, you know, that's 70 quid there. This must be like 20. So, you know, possibly 80 quid amongst 3 issues for 30. Again, paints aren't worthwhile, but across the range, you save enough. Yeah, so keep an eye out in your local supermarket. Some companies like Forbidden Planet tend to have issues as well, available on the web. But most of all, yeah, it'd be really good if you do the YouTubey things, do the liking, do the subscribing, share the video around. But thanks for watching, and as always, have fun.